I'd like to invite the children, anyone who's feeling a little bit childlike, to come join me at the front. I have a microphone. Come on, Aubrey, come on. You know you want to. Come on. You know you want to. Come on. It's not that scary. Okay, it is. I think they think they're too big. I think they think they're too big. Do you think that's it? Maybe that's it. Yeah. So I got a question for you, though, that now they're going to be sad they missed out on this. Oop, I can turn this on. If you got to be queen or king for a day, what's the first thing you'd do?
Give everyone donuts.
Give everyone what?
Donuts.
Donuts. Give everyone donuts. I like your thinking. Grayson?
Go to church.
You'd go to church. Here, I got $5 for you. Come on. That's awesome. No, good answer. How about you, Marion?
I would go help the hungry and thirsty children.
Good answer. Awesome answer. You do that too?
No, I would go the doctors in the world a raise.
You'd give all the doctors in the world a raise. Excellent. That's excellent. And that would go well with the donuts too. Yeah, excellent. Lori, what would you do?
Oh my gosh, I would have a whole day of, a week of fun for everyone.
A week of fun. But you only get to be for a day.
Oh, a day. Then I'll do it in a day.
You do it in a day? You want a week. You want more time.
One more time.
Okay, so we have donuts. We have feeding the poor and hungry, and we have going to church. We got nobody picked sitting on a giant throne. No, that's not for you.
Sitting on a giant throne at church.
At church.
Sitting on a giant throne at church. Oddly enough, we can arrange that. We have one downstairs. You'd want a crown, though. What kind of crown?
Tiara.
Yeah, like just a tiara?
Oh, I
Yeah.
also wear
Would
my
you
crown
like a
giant
crown?
throne At church.
So you'd like to wear your crown while sitting on your throne at church?
Yeah.
Excellent. Would you like people to come and worship you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Would you like them to bow down at your feet?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Would you like them to call you Your Majesty?
No.
No? Nobody wants to be Your Majesty? No? Really? Wow. Lori, Your Majesty? No? I already call you that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Those are some really good ideas. Anybody else? Thoughts on what you'd do if you were king for a day or queen for a day? Nobody has any thoughts. It's tricky, isn't it? Because you're probably thinking,
Oh, you know what I also do? I would grab Aubrey and drag her onto the stage.
you'd make Aubrey come and sit with us at the front. Yeah, I would do that too if I were king for. Oh wait, I am a king.
I'd go to LA and meet Tom Holland.
Oh, you'd like to go to LA and meet Tom Holland too. Yeah,
And meet all the Avengers.
and all the Avengers. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, he's British too, so he'd understand the whole queen thing. Yeah, he'd get that. Yeah. Here's the thing, like we have that's one of the things that we call Jesus, right? We refer to sometimes, like today, as Christ the King Sunday, and the idea that Jesus is a king. Well, what kind of king do you think Jesus? Do you think Jesus would give everyone donuts?
No.
Yes, come on. Of course, Jesus would give everyone donuts. He'd be feeding people, right?
Healthy.
He'd give healthy stuff.
Yeah.
You don't think Jesus would hand out candy?
Of course
I think Jesus would hand out candy.
he would. Get everybody.
I think he'd go, here's a piece of candy, psych, and then give you broccoli.
Here's a piece of
Yeah.
church.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
What if it was
Or beets,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, Jesus would even hand out beets, probably. That's Halloween.
No, what does he do on Halloween?
Who does
Give out
Jesus,
candy?
does Jesus hand out Halloween candy? Is that what you're saying? I bet he does. I bet he'd hand out Halloween candy. Sure. I love the fact that, like, you guys all picked things that were kind of like acts of kindness. I mean, even visiting Tom Holland really is an act of kindness. I love that. Because sometimes when we think kings and queens, we think like in Disney stories, you know, where the king or queen's really mean and the princess is the one that needs saving, and, you know, all those kind of stories and stuff. And when we talk about Jesus being like that, what we're trying to say is Jesus would be kind and caring and love people and take care of them, which is a really important thing, don't you think? Well, of course you do, because you said that right away. That and going to church. That and going to church. Is that the kind of king you think Jesus is? Kind and thoughtful and caring and loves people? Visits Tom Holland regularly? Probably does, yeah. I agree. I think that is kind. We have all sorts of, like, we sometimes say Jesus is like a king. We sometimes say like a shepherd. We sometimes say Jesus is like a teacher, right? We have all sorts of different ways of describing Jesus that are ways of talking about what he's like, right? And like when we say king, we mean like kind and caring and compassionate. A shepherd, right? Shepherd always cares for their sheep. I mean, you guys all know that because you're all shepherds, right? We all have sheep at home. Everyone has sheep at home? No? Okay. What do you think Jesus is like? If you were to say Jesus is like
A sheep.
Jesus is like a sheep?
Yeah.
In what way? Say fuzzy. Go ahead.
Fuzzy.
Yeah, okay. In what way do you think Jesus is like a sheep?
Fuzzy.
Other than fuzzy? Warm and cuddly?
Yeah.
Yeah? Kind? Delicious?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Anyone else? What else? What do you think Jesus is like?
Fluffy.
Fluffy? Do you think Jesus is fluffy? Okay. I think we're stuck on a sheep here. Any other things?
He goes like
And he goes, bah, yeah.
He's got
Would he be like an Avenger?
hooves.
I don't think he'd call himself an Avenger. He might be a superhero, but I don't know that he'd call him.
He's got hooves.
Are you sure? Maybe he does. How do you know? He's got hoofs. Okay. See, I think if you think about Jesus and you think about all of the great things that you want Jesus to be, we might come up with different ways of knowing Jesus, right? Like as a friend or companion or somebody who is with us all the time, right? And sometimes Jesus leads us like a shepherd or takes care of us like a king. And sometimes Jesus is other things, right? Warm and fluffy sometimes even, like a sheep. Yeah. It's just, that's the thing about it though, is that we all have different ways of thinking about that. And we all have different ways of thinking about Jesus and different ways that we might imagine what Jesus is like as a way of doing what? Do you think that's like a way that we get closer to Jesus? Would you hug a sheep? Of course you would, right? Until they start chewing on your ear and then you gotta let go. But yeah. Right? So there are all ways in which we try to bring Jesus closer and understand a little bit more of what Jesus is like. So when you're thinking about Jesus, it's okay to think about like different ways that you might, and sometimes they don't, like some people don't really like the idea, king, because that they think either, me, or like one of those kings in history that was mean, or in a Disney story, right? Or the wicked queen who gives them the apple thing, all of those kind of stories. That's okay. So what's another way? What's another way you think about Jesus? You just start thinking of other ways, right? So we're going to sing a song. We're going to sing a song that's a little bit like about Jesus being a shepherd or a teacher or like a parent. There's another great one, a parent, right? Like unless it's your dad and you want him to be a donkey in the play. Yeah.
A camel.
You want to be a camel now.
No, he's a camel.
He is a camel. How is he like a camel? Does he drink? He doesn't drink any water? Yeah? Okay. Let's sing now. Shall we sing? Let's sing.